Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is really focused on knowing your self-worth. We've all asked ourselves this question, and we wake up each day and we say, "Oh, am I really worth it? Why am I putting up with this nonsense, this bad relationship, this bad job?" My guest today, Susan Corey, will be telling you about her own journey and how she discovered her self-worth. She is a plus-size woman, reveals how men use her for sex, but refuse to be seen with her in public because of her size, until she realized her self-worth. And she'll be teaching us about knowing your self-worth. We'll also be touching on a tricky subject about the social media platform. What happens when you wake up one morning and your social media platform is all gone? This happened to Susan. She'll be telling us about the pain this caused her, but how she turned that pain into joy. Well, hello everyone. Welcome again to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. I think you've met my guest here before. She was on my previous conversation when we talked about self-worth, but we decided to reach out again to her to understand more, dive in deep. What does self-worth really mean? But we'll also be asking her about the Instagram platform and how all these different social media platforms, not just Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, YouTube, how you can protect yourself from anything going wrong on your platform. How can you protect yourself? Sadly, she lost all her followings because her Instagram platform was taken down and she had to start it all over again. She'll be telling us about that journey, that pain that caused her, and why it's so important to protect your brand through different platforms. But before we get started, we're going to understand about her self-worth. What does that mean to her while we're talking about this very, very much important subject? Susan, I am so glad to have you back on again. How are you?
I am good. I'm so happy to be back. Here we are after coming out of pandemic, or we're still in it, but
yes,
it has been crazy. But I've actually had COVID too. I was sick with it, and yeah, I'm just thankful to be feeling good. And yeah, I'm glad to be back and talk about self-worth. And I feel like I've even grown in the year since we talked.
I know. Look at you. I look at you and you filled with so much confidence. I mean, the first time we talked, you were filled with lots of confidence. But I think every time we speak, the confidence even grows even bigger. So before we get started, can you just tell me a little bit about your journey since we last spoke? What have you been up to?
Yes. Well, since we last spoke, we had the interview. It went amazing, and it came out. And I think right around the time, or right after it came out, was a month or two later, I lost my Instagram. And at that point, that was a platform I had promoted a lot of stuff through. And then, so other than that, I also gained a second job that we'll talk about a little later, that things are changing definitely in my life a lot. But yeah, I've still been creating content and working with different brands locally, some not local, from California to Miami, so coast to coast, you can say. And yeah, I went to California last year. That was fun. We got to drive the Pacific Coast Highway, and I got to see Malibu, and I haven't been to that part of California, so that was exciting. And then yeah, went to Miami a couple times, and it's been fun, to say the least. And I turned 40, so turning 40, and definitely got more confidence for sure through all of that.
No, congratulations. Because when we previously talked, what we were focusing on was that the self-esteem, the self-worth. You always used to talk about how men would, because you're a plus size lady, and men will want to, they love you. You know, there's people forget that men actually.
Yes.
People always think that men only like skinny girls, but that's not actually true.
No.
There are men out there who really have a fantasy and a love for plus size women like yourself. But you said the problem you found and why you didn't like this was because these men only saw you as a Netflix kind of lady, someone we could just chill at home, relax, have a movie at home, and just do whatever we have to do, but
Yeah.
not take you out in public, and that cost you lots of shame, lots of hurt. You
Yeah.
felt emotional abuse. Can you tell me about those journey during those time? What was it like?
Yes. Well, and it's funny, I actually had a friend recently and he says, Sue, I didn't know you felt like that back then. And I was like, maybe I didn't know how I felt at the time when it was happening. I didn't know, and you don't have time when you're in the moment in something. You don't necessarily have time to process it and know how you're feeling. And going through that where you feel, and honestly, the more I reach out, it's not just plus women. It's women everywhere in all sizes, all genres that sometimes get to, and men that can feel like this. It's not just a gender thing either. And where you just feel that someone's not authentic, in the dating scene right now, I'm living vicariously through my friends. Okay. And, the communication, when you get to really know someone, and that's just so hard to do with all the walls everybody puts up and getting past someone's intentions. And I think that's where it comes in. Maybe some of the men I dealt with didn't have the best intentions, even people in my life everywhere. So that goes back to me setting boundaries. And I think that's discovering my self-worth. Because there's a saying, they say the more you find out what you don't like, the more you find out what you like.
Yes, I like
And
that.
so I've really found out more of what I don't like. So in doing that, I know what I like. I do that with journaling. These are things that help my self-worth, help me go back. And I actually want to release some of my diaries eventually. I don't know how I'm going to release it, but I have diaries from like 10, 15 years ago when I was in a relationship. Not saying he looked at me like that as far as, but his friends would say, why are you with her? She's bigger, even his family. There were comments made. So not that they always felt that, but people around them, society, right, made it, pressured them to in public say, oh, I don't like that, and secretly, oh, I want to try that.
Yes.
And I think it goes beyond even them feeling that way. It's what's around them. How are they pushing? Are they accepting that? And so nonetheless, I have these diaries I want to release, because being able to go back and reflect while I was in my relationship, I remember reflecting on these, and I did make decisions based on some of the information that I reflected on. I said, okay, this is a pattern, and this is a pattern. We've got a pattern here.
Okay.
Right. Okay. There's a flag. I mean, some people like red flags, but not me. But I don't know. I found out that writing things down, and even if I didn't go back and read it, I go back and read some things, and I can't even believe I went through that, or even I can't even believe I felt like that.
Yes.
So writing those things and keeping those journals, even those daily thoughts. I have a memory book, a 5-year memory book. You just write down a sentence every day for 5 years. So going back and even looking at what was going on 2 years ago, you're like, wow. And it makes you reflect, and you can either grow from that, or keep doing the same thing you're doing.
Absolutely. I love that. So when did you realize, in all your drama that you were living in at the time with these kind of guys, when did you realize it's time to take ownership and realize what my self-worth is?
Yes. And I tell women and men and every people I deal with, I had to go within myself. I had to learn myself. And some of that was through my studies, through getting a master's and going on for a doctoral degree. You are forced to go inside yourself. You even go through courses that tell you, hey, you're going to go through relationships, you're going to go through jobs, but you have to continue this journey. And it's definitely been difficult, but I went so inside myself that I took myself out of friend groups. I took myself out of these situations. I quit doing this. I quit going out as much. I quit doing just things that weren't benefiting my goals or my tasks. And I didn't have enough time. I was running out of time. And then modeling, throw that in there, and then another job, But even before then, I've always been, as people say, a hustler, but I'm not a hustler because I don't hustle people out of money, but I've always been, we'll say, just an entrepreneur mindset.
Yes.
You know, I think as women, it's hard for us to use that term. Entrepreneur, though, is not just a male term. And an entrepreneur is simply someone who's, you know, turning nothing into something.
Yes.
And then moving on to the next task, you know, and all my life, I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur or a CEO. I started Simple Social Consulting LLC last year too. So my baby's a year old now, and people need it. I realize people need this knowledge I have. And so I think this journey of going within myself, learning what I like, learning what I don't like, and I'm still learning, you know, things I like and don't like. And it's changing,
Yes.
you know, because as new data or new information, new people, new interactions come in, new jobs. I mean, Miami, I never imagined I'd be going to Miami every couple months.
Exactly, to figure yourself out. Yeah. But how you, so now you're so confident. I see it in you. You're so confident. You're a happy person.
Well, they say when you turn 40 in insurance world, when you turn 40, you just don't care anymore. But no, it's not, it's more than that. I could have had this confident at 30. Me and my friend talk about all the time. She's a local tattoo artist. Shout out Flatline Tattoo Studio in Oklahoma City. We've been friends about 20 years, and we talk all the time. If we had have known this information in our 20s, if we'd have had people around us even spreading this information, we didn't have the internet like we have now. Yeah. We didn't have someone like, you know, you interviewing all these amazing women and telling their story and giving advice. We did, but we didn't in this medium. And I think now we have the potential to, I always told myself I would never be the role models of the older women that were in my life when I was 19. That's true. Because those 30, and I can't think of one that, of those particular friends or whatnot that were older that encouraged me to, and again, it might have, not that that's anything fault of theirs, it could have been their upbringing or whatever, just the mindset, but that getting away from societal expectations and all these things that, oh, you're supposed to go out, you're 20, you're supposed to do this. There's so much more to life than the pointless trips I took just to party, you know, all the things I did, and you know, but that's hindsight's 20/20 too. But at the end of the day, it just comes out to going back to myself, learning myself, and that goes through journaling, writing down my thoughts, whether I burn them later or share them later, you know, it doesn't matter. Getting it out and looking at it and really just being real with yourself and how you feel, and maybe disconnecting from everybody. Yeah. Even social media, you know?
Yeah, I love what you said, maybe even disconnecting with everybody, because sometimes we think it's those people around us that will give us the joy, but that's not necessarily. Probably they are actually draining us out, that we need to disconnect from them for a while to figure out who we are. How did you learn, right? Because a lot of people will look at you, look at your confidence, look at how you've been learned to talk and not let guys now take advantage of you. How did you learn to love yourself though? Tell us a few steps you did to learn to love yourself.
To love myself. Wow, that's, I something you don't think about every day. What do I do to love myself? You know, really, I think for me, it's accomplishing those goals, those tasks. I don't like to use the word goals because the tasks are what you're going to get done. Yes. You know, writing down your task. I love setting goals, but I like writing down tasks. You know, I'm a task setter. So that means I need to do A, B, C to get to this, you know, and so accomplishing things for me helped me believe in myself more, and really just, I don't know, just changing my mindset on everything from money to how I think to, and removing myself a lot of times from social media, completely disconnecting from the distractions. And all distractions, you know, everything, you know, because sometimes we can get wrapped up in something over here and then we forget about us. Yeah. You know, so I think for me, just accomplishing things, doing things for myself. I mean, I like to shop and buy purses, that's a little materialistic type love I love, but for me, that's how I show I love myself.
Yeah.
And just little things. It could be as simple as self-care, but the affirmations are huge for me.
Mm.
For internal, I still am all about affirmations. Whether that's telling yourself you're necessary, you're beautiful, you deserve this. Affirming to yourself. You don't need to hear it from anyone else, but affirming to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I started using those more, and the more you say it,
More.
the more you're going to believe something.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the social media aspect of life. Everybody's on social media. It doesn't matter. Anyone is either on social media in one form or the other. And for your case, sadly, your particular case was your Instagram was taken down due to some live content of people you were bringing on board and having conversation, but those conversations violated the Instagram rules. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because a lot of people want to know what happened.
Yeah.
How can they avoid such mistakes? So therefore, also, how much pain did you feel when you lost your brand?
Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my God, am I even a model? Like, I questioned everything. I was like, only because, okay, so not that there's a small fashion scene here in Oklahoma City. It's just not huge like LA and New York and Miami. It's just not.
Yes.
We're in the middle of the United States and we're a flyover state. So most everybody's flying over us, not stopping in to show off their fashion. But with the Instagram, I felt, am I a model anymore? Am I, because I'm here, there's no model jobs local. I'm not really doing any acting right now because I don't have enough time. I had just started my job with We Love Colors, which has been amazing. And, I actually and I just started going to Miami. So I couldn't even post all of these amazing Miami pictures I had taken. Like I built that Instagram from 0 to 300,000 with absolutely no money spent on marketing. And I did that through a series of different tests I would do to see if different things worked, what didn't. And I am onto something because I'm already back up to, not that numbers matter, but I already built, an account back up in 5 months, which that's because I have a lot of people that have found me and following back. And I always say everything happens for a reason, but I felt devastated. And then at the same time, my Facebook public page was hacked at 2 million followers. And somebody was going through and deleting everything. They deleted me all the way back to like 2019, I think. So basically, since Instagram was gone and Facebook was gone, those were the two platforms I had shared all the runway shows. I had shared all the, there's photos I don't even have. There's videos I don't even have. Because I'd ran that platform for 10 years, and 10 years of content, a whole decade of content from the baskets I used to sell to memories, really. I think for my age group now, for some people I've talked to that are younger, it's not necessarily what it was for me. For me, it was, and I think for other people I've talked to, and again, depending on your age, it has a lot to do with it. It's almost like a memory book, a way to reflect, a way to go back and look at the progress. And when all that's gone, but it's like a double-edged sword at the same time. And you got to watch what you ask.
So how did you recover? Did you recover from that pain?
And I use it with a little humor. Okay.
Yeah.
I use a little humor because I used to ask myself this question, Susan, you built this platform all the way up here. You've got these amazing brands contacting you that, by the way, I hope I get some of those back. But like I said, how I search for brands has changed as well. Things will never be the same. But I got back because I had always asked myself, what would I do? Or could I ever build this back? Or was this just a lucky thing? Did I just happen to somehow get all these followers just by the luck of the draw? Or did it have something to do with my strategies and these different, I'm a social media expert, 10 plus years of study, I can call myself that. and 6 credits away from the doctorate. And honestly, I was so busy, I didn't have time to worry about that I didn't have an Instagram. And it actually, before I did that, I feel like maybe I had a sense of entitlement, because people would meet me. Oh my God, you have 3,000, 100,000 followers. I became a real person again.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not this when you meet me. Oh my God. Like, it's like, because that got into my head maybe a little bit. So when I'm contacting a brand, oh, you need to do this for me because I've got this. Well, who cares about your followers? Because I mean,
And you do it. Yeah.
There's more to it than that. And then another thing is, a few years back, I was following some other girls who had lost their platforms due to different reasons. And there could be all kinds of reasons why you lose your platform. The thing with social media providers, you're going to run into a lot of content restrictions. And that's just part of it. So a few years back, I started working more on SEO, search engine optimization. And that's what I focused on. And one of my strategies, which I'll share, is that I diversify across all platforms. Okay. And I have different content on depending on my audience on the platforms. Okay. Wow. So, and I'm still trying to perfect some of my, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to create what I need to create. And that's where I need to build a team. And I'm starting to do that, where I can build a team that we can help execute some of these ideas that I know can happen. Yes. But I can't do it all by myself. And that's where I'm at now. So I think I was just so busy, number one. And I always tell people, stay so busy that you can't even see the haters. Yes, true. I had a friend tell me the other day, she said, Susan, and she remembered it when I first told her years ago. I told her, I said, girl, I'm so busy. I don't even know if you like me or you don't like me. If you're interacting with me, I'm going to think you like me. And if you don't like me, I'm moving so fast that that's so good. And she was laughing about it, and I was like, well, that's true. I still move. So I don't think about that part of it. And if you don't think about that, and who cares? Like, if not everybody's going to like you, that's why we're human, and if everybody did, it might, you got to have some little controversy here and there, Yes. That's what people call drama. I stay away from that. But on the edge, I always tell people, if you're right on the edge of chaos, that's where success lies. Yeah. So my Instagram got taken away, but I feel like it was taken away. Number one, humbled me. Number two, I already knew the bigger picture, but I saw it with my own eyes again, And number three, I get to rebuild how I want it. That means no more lingerie for free. And because I work with different lingerie brands, and I used to post a lot of those pictures online, and they were all over the internet. So guess what? When Instagram got taken away, so did all the pictures, because they were all through Instagram. Wow. Yeah. So I'm starting to use some of these creator platforms, and I'm selling my exclusive content from my photo shoots. Instead of posting them just everywhere online, those are now through subscription-based services or whatnot. Because I'm like, if Marilyn Monroe can still sell her picture, and she's not even alive anymore. Yeah. Susan, the model, can make a comeback too. So I'm coming back in a different way, more SEO, more focus on multiple platforms, and using a little humor. Because like I said, I always used to ask myself, if I lost everything and lost this following, am I still a model? Am I still these things? And yes, you are. Yeah. When I have girls I coach now, and guys. I'm not just biased to coaching women, but I've started doing coaching with my Simple Social consulting. I do model coaching, influencer coaching. I also do business consulting. Yeah. But I wanted to start something for people to have a way to learn the industry a little bit, understand how to build their brand, however that is you want to build it, but help create a path, in a way, and know that it's not necessarily about the following, but it's about the interactions. Absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree, and I really applaud that you've seen the you've turned the negative, you've turned the pain from losing your Instagram account, and you found some positive from it, and it actually made you an even better person. I'm so glad. When we, before I let you go, Susan, I have to ask you a question about you've got a new job in Miami. You said you might be moving to Miami. Can you share a little bit about this?
I okay, so
Exciting.
yes, I haven't announced it anywhere, and I probably won't until everything, because I'm the type of person, I'm like a ninja. Okay, I'm gonna be there, and you're like, what? She's in Miami? Yes, I'm there.
Yeah.
So when I post about it, I'm probably living there already. But oh, I just said it. Yes, I'm moving to Miami next year. Sometime next year, I'm trying to get everything worked out. Just get rid of almost everything in the house, except enough to pack in a truck and go cross country, and yeah, I'll move.
And start a new life.
I know. I think it's amazing. I think I need it. I need something different. It's gonna be way different than Oklahoma. And I think it's gonna take my modeling career, my influencer work. And I'll be closer to Style Your Curves. She's out of Tampa. I work with her. So I'll definitely, and we were down there, it was Art Deco weekend, and I made the Miami Times.
Wow, congratulations.
And they love me out there. So I'm like, wow, like I think it's going to do a lot. And I can go, really, I've been wanting to learn to roller skate. My dream is to roller skate by the beach one day on the sidewalk. So just riding bikes by the beach, doing different things is so much fun. We have lakes here in Oklahoma, but we don't have beaches. Okay. Way different. And I think just having that and the different environment it's going to be life-changing for me, but I'm excited. So right now I'm working 2 jobs plus all the creation.
Yes.
I am going to try to get back to school. I've got 6 credits left in my study. And then hopefully next time we talk, hopefully I'll be Dr. Curry. That would be the goal.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I've got a little work there, and that's kind of my plans. Like, so I'm just really taking things day by day. I'm focusing more on just relaxing, making sure I'm resting since I am working so much, making sure I'm drinking, my water, I'm eating healthy.
Yes, correct.
And really I've got a balance board now. I'm really just taking care of my body and moving. And that way I can fulfill all of these things and write books and then interview people like you.
Oh, wow. I am super delighted, honestly, because your life is truly an inspiration. You take pain and you turn it into purpose. You take pain, you turn it into passion. You take pain and you turn it into stuff. Oh my goodness, you do so much with that. And
it's funny you say that. I had a friend, we were talking about the transferring energy. I've gotten more into energy and things like that as well. But we were talking about taking energy and putting different energies like pain or sexual energy or whatever and putting that, when you can put that into other areas of your life.
Absolutely.
And that it will change the trajectory of everything in your life, including people around you.
Yeah, and people don't realize that it's so simple, and yet people just don't understand it. But Susan Curry, I'm really amazed I took the time out, and you took it out.
I'm honored, Lady Ann Welsh. I am truly honored, all the way from Oklahoma City, USA. I'm honored here.
I'm so honored to talk to you, and thank you so much for your time. And I wish you all the very best. Keep me posted when you're in Miami. Let's organize another call. Thank you so much.
I definitely will. Thank you.